Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Owl's Kitchen, and today I've just cooked myself up an absolute feast. Just check this out. Okay, so what I've done here, I've cooked this all from scratch. Aside from this stuff, okay. Give me a pardon on the veg. It's steam fresh because this took like 2 hours. So we've got roast beef here. We've got homemade gravy. Let's have a little taste. It's unbelievable. And then I've got my own potato bake here. Okay, so I'm just going to dig into this. Without any further ado, jumping into the food. I'm literally blowing myself away. So, if you want to make a roast, any sort of roast, I'll give you a couple of quick tips. And because I won't be putting in the description the whole recipe, because this was a lot of work. With your roast, you want to cut up some red onions. All right, so you want to cut up probably 2 red onions. Layer the bottom of your baking tray with the red onions, and then you want stock on the probably the stock just covering your red onions for your roast beef or your roast pork, your roast lamb, whatever, and that way you'll get that moisture, which I've got in this. This is like absolutely tender. It's like, I'd say well done, but it is so tender and just amazing. That is just unbelievable. And yeah, with this roast beef, well, I'll go over what I've done with this roast beef. I've put slits in it. I've put garlic inside the roast beef, and it just tastes amazing. Anything beef, olive oil. Olive oil is always your best bet for like most kinds of meat. There's some types of meat that vegetable. But olive oil goes so good. And basically, with a beef, you just want to coat him in olive oil. Like I said, slits in your roast beef. Garlic in those slots. Salt and pepper. Any type of beef, even if we're talking rump steak, we're talking like T-bone, whatever. Steak, salt and pepper. It is the best seasoning you will get for steak. And of course, garlic. You really can use as much garlic as you want. Too much garlic is never a bad thing. That is absolutely amazing. One day I'm going to have to start a restaurant. Okay, so we've got potato bake here. So for my potato bake, it's really simple. It's really easy. And if you want to make probably the best potato bake and have people turning heads, there's a little thing called 3 cheese. Now you can go to the supermarket and get something that says like 3 cheese. Just do it yourself. So if you want to know what the 3 cheeses are, tasty, normal tasty, mozzarella, and parmesan. And don't get that dry parmesan. Get that parmesan from the deli section. That in the cold bags, which I've done here. That is amazing. This is truly amazing. Oh man. Still really hot. I've just gotten it out. Oh, another trick I'll give you. This is probably one of my personal tips with potato bake. Right, you want to parboil your potatoes before you bake them. Now you don't want to boil them. And how I find to do a parboil. So what parboil means is basically like semi-boiled or partially boiled. You wanna just put the water in the pot like you would with your potatoes. Sliced up, obviously, because it's a potato bake, so you want to put them in slices. And then you just want to sort of bring the water to the boil. As soon as it hits the boil, actually get your fork or whatever utensil you're using, your tongs, and actually poke the potato. And if it's just softened that tiniest bit, drain it, let it cool. Obviously, don't transfer it straight to your baking tray, but then put it in your baking tray. Steamed fresh veggies don't come anywhere close to like the meat or the potato bake. So yeah, with my 3 cheese potato bake, so what I'd do is I'd parboil the potatoes. That's mighty fine. So what I'd do is I'd let the potatoes cool down after I parboil them. I'd go salt and pepper, of course. Just a little bit of salt. You don't want to be over salting things. As much pepper as you want. Pepper's fantastic. Mixed herbs, any sort of mixed herbs. So you can just get your general mixed herbs, or you could get Italian mixed herbs. I prefer the Italian mixed herbs, but I don't mind the mixed herbs either. Then you want to add your 3 types of cheese. So you want to go a tasty mozzarella and then Parmesan. And then you want to top with cream. And then do another layer and repeat. Just look at how tender that is. If you can see how many times I'm chewing here. That beef is so tender. I do not have any trouble chewing it. But yeah, so add your thickened cream, potatoes again, salt, pepper, mixed herbs, 3 types of cheese. Don't overdo it. Don't put a ridiculous amount of cheese in it. I wouldn't say ruin it, but yeah, you don't need that much cheese. Sort of just a sprinkle of tasty, a sprinkle of mozzarella, and a pinch of Parmesan. And the flavour is just absolutely amazing. And you'll get the real nice softness with your potatoes if you parboil them. Trust me on this. Just try it once and you'll never go back. Parboil anything, like even your veggies. If you want to roast veggies, you're not supposed to just throw them straight in the oven. You're supposed to parboil, then put them in the oven, let them fully dry, and add a bit of olive oil, and you'll get the best roast veggies. I can do amazing roast veggies, don't worry. Just that this took me like 2 hours to make this amazing steak. I'll get into the gravy in a second. It is amazing. Okay, so for the gravy, as you can see, I've got a really nice thick gravy. This gravy would absolutely blow your mind. You've got a really nice thickness in this. This type of gravy is really easy. So how I did this one was simply butter in a pot, generally a small pot, depends how much gravy you want, and melt the butter. So medium heat, 5, 6 maybe. 6 might be a bit too high, it might burn your butter. A 5, get it melted. So I'd say for about 3 tablespoons. So what you want to do is melt this butter. I'd say about 3 tablespoons of butter. You want about 1/4 cup of flour. You want to stir it, turn it into a paste. If you want to set the gravy on fire, add onion salt. Like, it will blow you away how much flavour that will add. Onion salt you can find at the supermarket. Add your onion salt, stir it through. So with the roast, like I was saying, I would have the beef stock in the bottom, but we'd also have like the juice coming out of the roast itself. So we would strain that. You'll need a sieve. Don't use just like a vegetable strainer. You'll have little chunks in it. Just get a sieve. They're really cheap. Strain the bottom of the tray that's got your beef stock or chicken stock, whatever roast type you're doing, and add that to the butter and the flour that's turned into a paste. And like my tip, a bit of onion salt. Stir it until it'll become loose. Depending on how much you use, I'd say about two cups of the fines to about that much, roughly. So about 500 ml. Stir it and then turn it on a low, and it will thicken up. This gravy, honestly, it is way better than some of the takeaways out there. I do like to keep these videos to 10 minutes. We have hit the 10-minute mark. But because this is a large meal, this would be like what you'd consider a main course. We're going to go a little bit over. I just want to show you guys. This is the crackle from the roast beef. It is blow your mind crackle. Pork crackle is another story, and I will do that in a future video. Can you hear that crunch? That's the sort of crunch I'm getting out of my crackle. I'm thinking I might save this piece of beef for later. I'm not a big eater, but I'm going to finish these two little bits, the potato bake and the veggies. Even the steamed fresh veggies with the gravy, it just makes something that I don't think steamed fresh veggies are the worst. They're definitely not the greatest, but it just makes them so much better. Like you wouldn't believe. Oh heavens. I am gonna go in for like one more piece of the beef. It tastes that good. I'm pretty much full at the moment. I've made myself like a pretty huge plate. You see how much I've got left there. Got a bit of the beef left. Whew. This gravy would absolutely blow your mind. Absolutely. It is just amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was my roast beef. Veggies, okay, steamed fresh, but potato bake and roast beef were done from scratch. Gravy was done from scratch, and it would just blow your mind. I really can't rate my own food, but if I was to be served this at a restaurant, or someone was to make this for me and I was to give it a rating, I would probably give this about a 9 easily. Maybe a 9.2 or a 3 easily. It's really that good. You really got to try my cooking. I mean, there's no way you could do that unless I started like a restaurant chain, which would be great, or my own restaurant. Well, hopefully one day. But yeah, definitely cook stuff yourself. Don't go out and buy it. I will be doing reviews though. I will be doing takeaway reviews and stuff, and that's okay for a treat, that kind of stuff. But try and cook stuff for yourself. It just tastes so much better, and you will just thank yourself so much. And the flavor is just amazing, especially when you get it right. And I mean, a bit of home cooking goes a long way, and it really puts a smile on all the family's face. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, which will be probably tomorrow, which will be another home cooked meal. Yeah, it probably will be something home cooked. I have done a tiramisu, but it wasn't set. I did want to include this in this video. Luckily I didn't, because we've already gone the 15 minutes. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one, and peace.